Aha. Okay. Aha. But why don't we try this? Ah! Hello there. Welcome back to the shop. Today we're going to be fixing the AUTO-VARI 64. AUTO-VARI. I'm sorry, there's no music. So let's talk quickly about what we did yesterday. Yesterday we set a few goals for ourselves, correct? We wanted to do some things. First and foremost, everything was contained inside of a box. We had to get everything out of that box, which we did. 2, we wanted to fix the A, B, C, and D lights. These are the lights which tell you which variation is playing at a certain moment. When A is working, it'll show A. We didn't get that working at all. Number 3, we wanted to fix the high frequency sounds. On the AUTO-VARI, there are 2 frequencies of sound. There's the low frequency stuff like the, no, just the, I guess it sounds more like a, and a clave, which might be a clave, also might be a cowbell. Sounds more like a cowbell than a clave. And then there's the high frequency sound stuff like the ting and the and the and the low frequency sounds. They work pretty well. I mean, they work. And then there's the high frequency sounds, which don't work at all. And we did not get the high frequency sounds to work, not even in the slightest. Then as a 1.5, after remove the boards from the box, I made a side quest to 1.5 to clean the boards. We didn't clean the boards. They're dirty, filthy, horrible, embarrassing, not immaculate. Number 4, we wanted to investigate the mysterious IC. That would be this. Let's do a Star Wars wipe. This thing right here. Doesn't make any sense that this little chip would be in this old-ass instrument. This is a socketed chip, which means you can pull it out if you wanted to. And that socket is new, it's not old. And this whole thing, this little chip here and this little plastic distributor chip thing, new, or at least newer than 1974. So I wanted to figure out where that thing came from and what it does. We failed miserably at that. We found nothing. Number 5, we wanted to rewire the AUTO-VARI control knob. The AUTO-VARI control knob is pretty much the heart of the entire thing. So you have the A, B, C, and D. A is the basic rhythm. Poo, to, tap, boo, to, tap, boo, boo. B is slightly interesting. Boo, tap, doo, doo, boo, bop. C is a mix between normal and slightly interesting. So boom, tap, boom, boom, tap, ba, boom, ba, ba. And then D is the most interesting of them all. And in order to switch between them, you use a knob, what's called in the manual the auto variation control knob switch, which is this guy. And right here, if you'll notice, this is the knob, auto variation control switch. Well, that ain't in focus. Auto variation control switch. The switch itself has spots for 6 wires to be plugged into it or soldered into it. It has one, this capacitor right here. And then there are a bunch of wires just flying around, not doing nothing. Where do they go? What do they do? What is reality? So we were going to fix the AUTO-VARI control switch. I think, well, and we didn't. We didn't fix the AUTO-VARI control switch. In fact, after 4 hours of streaming, I mean, I didn't even remove all of the boards from the box. The box is still here. We didn't get a lot done, but we did read the schematics. We had a lot of laughs, fell in love, and even broke a few hearts. I think today what we should do, though, is I think the most likely thing that we could possibly do would be rewire the AUTO-VARI control knob, and while we're at it, try to fix those high frequency sounds. And in order to do that, I've come up with an idea. I came up with this myself. No one has ever thought of this before. This one comes from my brain and my brain only. August 22nd, 1st, 2026. It's the first time anyone's ever thought of doing this. I'm going to take an audio cable and make a probe so that I can listen to stuff and trace the signal, trace the working signal from its source to the output and find where it has stopped, and then fix where it stopped so it can go all the way to the edge, all the way to the end, baby. No one's ever thought of that before. And just as a little homage to the early days of the AUTO-VARI, this is the cord I used to use for it. This was the audio jack, and this was the foot switch jack. The foot switch shut it off, and you press it again, and it starts it over from scratch, right from the beginning. And I zip tied them together, and the foot switch cord is the cheapest, silliest 99-cent cord that I could find because it's just a foot switch. Who cares? And I'm going to sacrifice the foot switch cord for the audio probe because I'm a sadist. I'm a cord sadist. But nobody's ever made an audio cord like that before. I'll be right next to Chris Jocelyn in this year's Skater of the Year Thrasher. Me with my audio probe, Jocelyn flipping the tray down El Toro. It's gonna be sick, brah. Oh, there's one other thing I wanted to do, but yeah, fuck it. So, what do you say we get to doing that? I always like having a little background music, but since the AUTO-VARI is in pieces, no background music. If you're playing along at home, don't forget to drink your Ovaltine. And yeah. It's a Friday night. I don't think anyone's going to watch. I just want to watch. Oh, and the world, blah, 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 doing stuff on the computer. La, 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 la. You guys have plans for the weekend, or? I just wanted to make sure that the link works. Because you know it'd be easier to blame nobody watching on a broken link. But whatever, still we truck on. It doesn't matter. Keep going. I might throw that fan on in a little bit, though. Actually, let's just do that right now. I'll spare you a view of my crotch. Here. Nobody's watching. Nobody cares. So here we go. It does heat up in this shop. Oh, damn it! It's not plugged in. Now the thing's beeping at me. There's a kind of hush All over the world tonight, all over the world, you can hear the sound of bullshit. Yeah. Okay, continuity function works. Let's plug this fan in. There's a kind of hush. I seem to remember that being like a song in a commercial. I mean, it's a real song, but I do kind of remember them using that in a commercial. They got away with using a couple of Beatles songs in commercials too back in the day. There was a time between like 75 and 95 when nobody gave a shit about the Beatles, and then that anthology came out. Because the original generation of the Beatles people, I mean, think of your favorite childhood band. Did you really fucking stick it out with them in the long run? So then it was the original generation's kids, my generation, who brought them back to life. But then, I mean, there was really only so much fucking Beatles I could take. I could go the rest of my life never hearing a single fucking Beatles song. But every generation discovers these guys. So then you have to listen to them all over again. And I remember thinking, like, I can't believe my mom and dad don't like this stuff. It's incredible. This is amazing music. But they did like it, but they heard it to death because the radio never stops playing that shit. If it's making money, they're going to play it. Just like Star Wars. As long as there's money to be made on Star Wars, you're going to be getting Star Wars for the rest of your fucking life. I wish so much that I wasn't born during a time where I'd have Star Wars shoved down my fucking throat from the instant that I was born until the second that I die. But that's just the world we live in. In order to avoid Star Wars, you just have to turn off everything. You can definitely expect to get some Star Wars ads during this video. You know, the sound looks like it's working pretty well. I don't know if I need the headphone. Yeah, everybody can hear it, right? I could point it up a little more. The headphone just gets in the way. It's not professional. If this were a television studio, they'd tell me to keep my earpiece in. I'll keep it in, but I won't keep it plugged in. How about that? Okay, so making an audio probe. This is how I'm going to do it. Oh shit, unbelievable. Sorry. Sorry. How about I throw the autofocus lens on there so I don't have to deal with it. We're currently using the Helios 44-2. But let's get this thing out of there. Image looks a little dark. See, why is it set to 30 frames a second? Every time I turn it on, I got it. Okay. Oops. How do I just change the aperture? I want the aperture to be a little brighter. This one? Oh, I can't fucking change it at all. I guess if I wanted it to be a little brighter, I gotta adjust the ISO, but I don't want to do that. It looks fine, right? Yeah, it's fine. Let's add another thing to our list. It's a wood shop. I can't find a single straight edge. Whatever, I'll freehand it. I'm doing it live. I'm just putting this on there so I have something to cross out at the end of the day. Make audio probe. I'm going to go down in electronics history for this invention. That was my favorite joke. Yeah, okay, let's make this thing. I'm going to use these clippers. Link available in description. I'm going to eat that joke. This is a pretty standard technique for cutting zip ties. Oh, that one hit me in the eyeball. I knew better than that. Proper technique is to close your eyes every time you do a snip. Just like a proper technique on the bandsaw or the belt sander. Just hold your breath. Oof, I hate this fucking thing. Maybe I'll put, change out the earbud, the IEM earbud. Okay. All right, now how long do we want the audio probe to be? So this is, right about here is where the speaker is. And well, hell, I'll just make it this long. I'll give myself a little lead so I can use this on some other project. I'll throw it over there. Oh, went out the window. Now, we'll expose these wires. Perhaps I should plug in the soldering iron. Yeah, I'll do that. Desk is a little cluttered. Here. All right, I'm plugging in the soldering iron. Plugging. Well, it's already plugged in. Fruitless. Resistance is futile. That's another thing. Like even the actress who played 7 of 9 was like, why the hell is she saying futile? It's futile. Everybody knows that. Every Borg up until this point has said futile. I got to think of a way to test the audio probe. How do I want to do that? Let me know in the comments, how would you test the audio probe? This ain't the best soldering iron, like the iron itself. The rest of it is pretty good. Usually when I buy these soldering irons, they last a year, 2 tops. This one, the The iron itself, it sucked from pretty much the instant I got it out of the box, but the actual unit has been fine. And it's an off-brand one. It's a Yihua. So, I mean, how in the hell are you supposed to get a replacement Yihua? And now for stripping the wire, we have a couple of choices. We can use a legit wire stripper, or just a razor blade. And with these cords, if you use a wire stripper, you're liable to rip the wires out from underneath, that are underneath. So I'll try a razor blade first, but if that doesn't work, I'll try a razor blade. That's what it said already. Yeah, that was another drink. So I'll start with the razor blade. Where is the razor blade? Ah, here it is. Oh, this is going to be the sickest audio probe I've ever seen. And I found some parts I was going to use for it. An alligator clip and a busted probe. Let me see if I can't find that alligator clip. Alligator clip. I might have just taken it and then set it right back on the shelf where I found it. Absent-mindedly. So now I'm checking the shelf. Looking at the shelf. Checking, tracking. Now I'm wandering back across the shop. I'm looking down at my feet in despair. I'm thinking maybe I got in over my head on this one. Okay, I'm taking it out of my ear. It hurts too much. I hate that thing. Maybe I should just fucking fix this thing right now. Nah, some other time. As long as the audio meter is working, then I know the thing is working. So, where did I put that probe? There's a probe in my boots. There's a probe. I didn't put it in my pocket, did I? Nope. Nope. Yeah, thanks for choosing to spend your Friday with me. Maybe we should just walk across the street to the bar and get shit-faced. There it is. It was on top of the AUTO-VARI this whole time. And there's the alligator clip. Ain't life grand? I don't know what I was thinking of just editing all of these live videos together into a video. The resolution is going to look like shit, though. I can't punch in at all. I mean, it already looks bad enough. I hate the angles. I'd want to be able to punch in on my face, even though I hate my face. I'd want to be able to punch in on my face. And there's just not enough resolution available. Unless I were recording this whole thing, but I don't have the money. I can't afford a fucking hard drive big enough to like hold all of this footage. Unless I were editing every single day and then just deleting the raw files. But I can barely keep up with the shit that I have to do, so. And a hard drive like that is like a $300 or $400 investment. That might not pay off. Oh wow, this just got dark. Hey, everybody raise a glass of Soleil. Sparkling water. Although if you really should drink the Soleil as soon as you pull it out of the refrigerator, because if it sits for even 10 or 15 minutes, it just turns back into regular water. It's not very good. Soleil really only achieves the desired effect when you drink it immediately out of the fridge, and it has to be cold. The colder the better. The colder the more refreshing. You'll never drink water again. It's kind of the same thing I said when I first drank wine. I thought, I'm never going to drink water again. Wine is all there is. I drink wine. I can only drink wine. My money is getting smaller and smaller, and it's not refilling. When it's gone, I'll have nothing. I can't stop drinking wine. That person's very funny. I should put the garbage bag closer, huh? Yeah. Let's open up a new can of Soleil. Yeah. Oh, you like that? Ooh, tastes good. Orangey. I should have had 10 of these audio probes done by this point. Thanks for sticking around, hanging in there. I don't know how long to make these. This is the probe. It's a busted probe. Check it out. That thing should be a long stick, but it is not a long stick. It is a tiny stick because I busted it. I was thinking I could just take it over to the belt grinder, but you guys can't see the belt grinder. Can you? I guess you can kind of see the belt grinder if I move the camera a little bit. That sure would make quick work of this. The other option was I could use a saw, or I could just use this. I think there's a far greater chance of me hurting myself using this, though. I mean, I probably won't, but also probably will. What kind of saw would I use, though? All my little luthier saws are... There's also no light in that cubby there. Let's see if we can't get some kind of light. Oh, and you know what? This is what we discovered yesterday, the digital zoom, which you use on the monitor to focus shots when you're using a manual lens. It works. It works on the main monitor. It outputs to HDMI. So, oh, there it is. Right about there. That is the belt grinder. Okay. All right, strap in. Oh yeah, that was a hell of a lot faster than doing it with a saw. I mean, I would have had to dig through the box to find a saw. I mean, now it smells like burned plastic. Belt grinder, belt grinder, belt grinder, belt, 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 belt grinder, belt grinder. Is the horizon horizontal? Well, the chalkboard is, but the desk is not. Who cares? Oh yeah, that was way better than doing it with hand tools. That belt grinder is the shit. It's also terrifying. I made it. Making power tools is something else. I was thinking to myself, what's a really good way to thickness headstocks on like Fender style guitars? Because it's like headstock with a little swoop up to where the nut is. How do you make that swoop perfect every single time? And I thought like a little sanding thing, like an easy bake oven with like a sanding disc in it, kind of like a drum sander, but miniature. And then I thought, if I'm going to do that, I might as well make a belt grinder, because then I can grind stuff. And that's what I did. I can grind stuff and thickness headstocks instantly. Yeah. All right, now we're left trying to figure out how exactly these things work. I don't get it. I may have ground too much. Well, no, I'm going to make this work. I'm going to make this work. I was thinking I might have to grind this back down a little bit. Like I exposed too much of that. This side's fine. I mean, maybe I could even taper that a little bit to get into tighter spots. Yeah, I might actually do that right now. Okay, I'm going to belt grind this a little bit more. You guys have already seen what that looks like, so I'm not going to do the... Just picture it in your head. Yeah, that'll work. Why the heck not? I don't understand why everybody has such a bad attitude about the belt grinder. The InfoWare's belt grinder is not a direction we're interested in exploring. I thought the only reason I tune every week was to hear the guy's song. I'm a Tim Heidecker fanatic, but the Alex Jones thing got grating after a while. It didn't make, I mean, he does a really good Alex Jones impersonation, but why wouldn't he just have his normal voice? Okay, because he wasn't playing Alex Jones, he was playing Tim Heidecker, like he does on Cinema. So the voice just kind of got to me, and I think he probably knew that also. Probably thought there's only so much of this people are going to be willing to take. Oh man, I gotta I have the little magic claw thing that holds onto the piece while you solder it, the third hand. Now, what do you say we put, this is actually going to be red, right? So it's going to be the red wire. So let's put a red shrinking wire wrap on it. Not big enough. This blue one's plenty big. Back to the belt grinder. I want to grind this down a little more so I can put a red one on. That way everybody knows it's filled with hornets. Can you withstand much more of this intensity? Okay, the shop is starting to smell like belt grinded rubber now. Oh yeah, that'll work. Sweet. So now I know how much of the wires to expose. Maybe that much? Here, I'll expose a little bit and see if I can. There's a way where if you just get a little bit of the wires exposed, you can pull the whole thing apart by separating the wires and pulling. And it doesn't look like that's going to work in this case. Yeah, I just got that lens. It's a good lens. The fellow who sold it to me lied to me, though. The whole package was for 2 working cameras and a couple of lenses. And I mean, I didn't really care about the lenses. I've got lenses. But I needed cameras because the A7S II had just died. And I needed to work. And one of the cameras didn't work. I know what's wrong with it and how to fix it, but like imagine if I had been like a soccer mom or something, saving up my money, working, selling knitwear on Etsy. I finally get enough money to get my dream camera, the A7 II, not the S2, just the 2. And I find somebody who's selling one on Facebook Marketplace, go out to meet. I'm so excited. I get it home to find out that the fucking buttons don't work on the back. Well, it took me about 30 seconds of troubleshooting to figure out that the ribbon cable on the inside had just come loose. But the soccer mom, she wouldn't know that. She'd be crushed. That is pure copper wire, and I don't want this thing to be pure copper wire, so I think I'll splice other wire into it. The problem is, once again, all my wire is in a box somewhere. The last thing I thought I was going to be doing was soldering stuff. I'm currently in guitar making mode, but there's so much guitar building stuff on YouTube that is just fantastic. It would be years before I am able to make a dent on YouTube to offset like actually working. So I have to work. I got to work. I got to do the stuff that doesn't make YouTube money, but makes actual money. But AUTO-VARI, there's nobody on YouTube doing AUTO-VARI stuff. There are a couple of videos, and they are fun videos. And I think when the final version, the full recap comes out, as Dennis called it, I'm going to include some of those, and I think I'm going to try to bring some of those AUTO-VARI people to light, because there's some good work out there. A lot of fun work. Why am I twisting this? Oh, you know, I could probably use this as a solder wick, maybe. Maybe? I don't think I have any solder wick. Oh, all right. I don't want to assume anything, but let's go off the assumption that the tip is the center wire. And the sleeve is this one, the ground. Continuity test. It's better to test it ahead of time so you know, instead of soldering it and having to redo it. That's just frustrating. We've all done it, but it's frustrating. Not in this particular situation, but in lots of situations. Continuity mode. Measuring measuring the sleeve to this insulated wire, non-insulated wire. Oh, damn. No continuity at all. Huh. Okay. Well, it's a good thing I measured it. What about this one? Oh, it's the wrong cord. It's the wrong cord. Any dumbass with a pair of eyes could have seen I had the wrong cord. I thought maybe there's a chance that that insulated wire wouldn't work for some strange reason. Like I cut the wire completely through with the razor blade. Let's try it again. You've ruined the act, Job. All right, continuity. The sleeve to the sleeve. Oh, look, I was trying to test it with this. Yeah. Third time's a charm. Okay, and then let's test the tip to the center insulated wire. Good, all right, we figured it out. Now we know what's up. Oh, I see you like to beep. Do you like to dance? I challenge you to a dance. Winner gets beheaded. But on the plus side, you'll make the primetime news. You kind of get the impression the shop floor is just covered in bits and bobs. Okay, now, so I tested the continuity on those guys, which means now I got to go find some kind of wire. Ideally, that would be a like black wire. But black wire and red wire are the two hardest wires to find because they're the ones that run out the quickest. Well, there's none over here. You think I'd have some sitting out somewhere, right? Oh, I see some. Oh, this is, oh, we got lucky. We got real lucky. This is the wire box. When I was emptying out the shop, this was the box where I threw all the wire. Look, we got some solder. Got some white, yellow, black. Oh, some of this stuff, that's the super 24 gauge stuff. And some blue, some red. Blue to red, acid. Some more green. We're gonna have to use that 24 stuff coming up. Yeah, this is where all the wire stuff went. See, I've only got a couple of boxes left that I haven't unpacked. Another pair of wire cutters. In fact, I should probably switch to these. That's not wire related. And there's also a steel punch in there. Whoa, wow. Nice catch, Blanco Nino. But too bad your ass got sacked. I got flux all over my hands. Now I got no flux on my hands at all. While I'm over here, I'm gonna pop a muffin in the microwave. Everybody take a muffin break. A muffin break? A muffin break. Fuck! The muffin box fell in the mop bucket. I usually find somewhere between 10 to 15 seconds is the ideal time to cook a muffin. A donut, way less, maybe 5 to 10 seconds. Definitely no more than 10 seconds. Oh, that was too long. The muffin is too hot. Bing. Oh, this is just an embarrassment of wire. Look at all that wire. This is the good stuff right here. We're going to be using a lot of this. I don't know what it measures. 24 AWG. I don't know what that is in millimeters. While I'm you know, I'm going to have to wait a few seconds for this muffin to cool down, so how about I go grab the calipers? Calipers. Questo abrogado calipers, mi amore. Muffin man. I wish I could recharge the batteries for the calipers. Instead, every time the battery goes dead, I gotta buy a new pair of calipers. Pardon me, muffin. Oops, still too hot. Let's set it to millimeter mode. Millimeter mode activated. Let's find out. You guys ready for the moment of truth? How many millimeters is 24 AWG? What does AWG stand for? A white gangster. A white gangster. Bill Oakley and Associates. Trust experience. Trust Oakley. Looks like it's somewhere between 51 and these are really accurate. So if you push really hard, it's at 48. But if you just close it just enough for it to close, it appears to be 52 hundredths. I could have sworn these things went more accurate than 100th. Oh, it's millimeter mode. How many inches? Zero. How many? Come on. Zero. So you can get super accurate on this one. 10 thousandths. All right, let's see. This is 215 thousandths of an inch. Quite small. Compare that to my finger, my thumb. No, no! 225 thousandths. That's what I said a second ago, right? A lot of people are like, why don't the Mitutoyos do whatever, parsecs or fractions or whatever? Well, you should be able to read this. And we're back. Cool. So now we learned that it's about 0.5 millimeters. When I look at it, it doesn't look like it's, if I were going to hold it next to a ruler, it seems like it's bigger than a half a millimeter. Now I don't know what the hell's going on. 0.5. Let's just say it's half a millimeter. 24 is half a millimeter. I'd like to thank the Mitutoyo Corporation for making these accurate-ass calipers. I should put these up here so I can grab them without having to walk across the room. I'll put it up next to the jobber chisel. That way I'll always know. Now, who wants to watch me eat this muffin? Nobody. Oh yeah, check it out. No, you naughty muffin. Oh yeah, there we go. I will save you the 1920s audio rendition of me eating it, and I will mute the microphone. You're welcome. It's still super hot. I think I left it in for too long. I was given a speech about how long to leave muffins in a microwave instead of paying attention to the muffin in the microwave. Okay. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, it's working. It's a very uncomfortable in-ear monitor. So let's see what we got here. What did we figure out? We scored some yellow, some 24, some solder, some green, black, red, white, blue. All the stars are here, and some solder. And for this one, since it's DC and that's it, we'll use black for the ground, for the negative. And if we need the red, we'll get the red. Honestly, I'm surprised I have any red or black at all. Set these off to the side. Good job, wire. I knew I could count on you. How about we make this section of black wire as long as this lead? And make it a little longer, because I'm probably going to need just a little extra long. So to right about there. Now using these ones, which compared to the other ones, where do the other ones go? Ah, yes. These are made by a company called, I think it's just called Engineering, or Engineer. I've had them so long the label wiped off. But, oh, Engineer, it's just called Engineer. It's the Engineer NS-06, made in Japan. And they are fantastic. I've never owned a pair of wire clippers better than this. Only use them on wire, because I don't want to destroy them. I don't want to hurt them. These, got them off Amazon. Everybody's got a pair of these. It's the first pair of wire clippers you buy off Amazon when you're looking for wire clippers. It's the recommended choice when you go to Amazon.com. Everybody in the comments gives glowing reviews. The steel is extremely soft and won't last you a week. If all you got to do is one project, 2 projects, it's fine. But it lasted me a couple of weeks. Threw it in a box, and now they're my the jobber pliers, or the jobber clippers. When I need to cut something I know is going to fuck up my clippers, I reach for these. These guys, the Engineers, whew, I was so impressed by these. I went and I bought their rulers. They've got little machinist rulers. That was quite a deep dive. Now, what's next? Are you ready, Weaver? Are you ready to choose? Are you ready, Weaver? Why you got the blues? Because I want the red snapper. I want to take that fish home. I want to eat up all the red snapper. Because my name is Weaver. Are you ready, Weaver? Are you ready to go? Pick up that box, old Weaver. Get ready to blow. The blow came down from the hill, followed by Weaver. Are you ready, Weaver? Are you ready to sing? Are you ready, Weaver? What do you got to bring? Followed by snow. Oh, oh. We didn't listen. We swam off alone. Long live his Weaver. Are you ready, Weaver? Are you ready to go? It's Weaver, and now you, Weaver. Weaver. I'll take the box. Nothing! There's nothing in the box, oh Weaver. You're pretty dumb. Nothing in the box, oh Weaver. Why did you even come? Weaver is bad at the wheel of fish. She could have had that very tasty red snapper. I don't want that. We all know I'm working on the AUTO-VARI. It's public knowledge by this point. The police and firemen know. Yo, hey Clark, is that you working on the AUTO-VARI? Oh, funny you should ask, Chief. He's like, let me swing by the shop later. I got a Telecaster that needs some work. Well, by all means, Chief. Maybe we can jam a little bit. Oh no, I'm not. Oh, come on, Chief. Let's plug in and play something. Have some fun. It's Friday afternoon. There's never any fires on Friday afternoon. Yeah, what the heck? Should I bring my pedal board? By all means. Yeah, wait, Clark. Where's all your fire extinguishers? Well, Chief, I just sent them out to get replaced this morning. Okay, what I'm going to do right now is tin the lead. Oh, never mind. I'm going to get a little more access here. I wonder if I can do it by just pulling on it. No, of course not. Are you ready, Mrs. Weaver? Here's to you, Mrs. Weaver. You don't know shit about the wheel of fish. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You suck at the wheel of fish, Mrs. Weaver. Never play the wheel of fish again. You so stupid. You so stupid. I'd like to tell you a little bit about the wheel of fish. Tell you about the wheel of fish. It's secret, just Weird Al Yankovic knows. And don't forget, you got to hide it from the fish. Cuckoo-cuckoo, Mrs. Weaver. You're never gonna win that delicious red snapper. No, no, no. You're gonna be known for all time in all UHF circles as a loser. Ho, ho, ho. You suck at this game, Mrs. Weaver, yeah. I put a little bit too much on there. I'm going to use this guy. I found this when I was digging through a box. It's a rich people's solder sucker. No, it was made by the same company, Engineer. If you go to Amazon, usually when you buy shit on Amazon, it's terrible stuff. It's garbage. So I was so pleasantly surprised when I found this stuff. It's really cheap. It's dirt cheap. Like this pair of pliers here, this pair of Engineer pliers was like 12 bucks. This was maybe $8. pay a couple dollars more and you get a really good pair of clippers. So then I started buying stuff from the engineer company. This is high quality. The silicone tube is missing though. Not everything made it through the move. It doesn't really work without the silicone tube. Oh, it also doesn't work if the solder isn't liquefied. Yay! That worked just fine. Then you got to eject it. That's the funnest part. There it is. Okay, so we got this wire tinned. Now, let's tin this black lead. This is going to be our negative. Actually, let's just wrap it and then tin it. No. Oh, here's what I'll do. No. Change my mind again. I'm going to wrap them, and then I'm going to dip them in flux, and then I'm going to solder them together. Now, utilizing this toothpick, this flux is really nasty stuff. I mean, I'm all for having like moisturized hands or whatever, but damn, it's having like oil on your hands all the time. I'm convinced YouTubers cameras look weird on screen. Also, it makes you question exactly how committed the YouTubers are to their craft if they're wearing gloves. But if the cameras weren't on, man, I definitely would be wearing gloves. But we there. Now, I might not actually need solder because the other end is tinned pretty well. But I'm going to introduce some. Oh, fuck me. Oh, no, never mind. I almost thought that I had forgotten to do the shrink wire wrap stuff. Just try to spread it around there. That looks like a pretty good solder joint. Oh, that's as close as it goes. I can live with that. Now, since I've already been wiping flux off on my hands, I'm going to wipe it off. You know what I didn't do today? I didn't go buy alcohol. But I do have naphtha, which I think should work. So this is just to wipe the flux off. Otherwise, as I'm using the thing, it's going to have flux all over it. If this were like a circuit board repair, it would be pretty much mandatory. You should really wipe the flux off of stuff. I found a little bit of flux on the AUTO-VARI board, just a little tiny bit, which is how I knew that it had been repaired. But otherwise, the repairs were almost seamless, I mean, the only way that I really knew for sure that the thing had been repaired before was that there were new transistors on the power supply section, on the power side, and that, like, obviously brand new IC, the upgrade, the aftermarket, whatever the hell that thing is and what it does, I don't know. But yeah. And that IC is on this board, which is the pattern generation board. And according to the manual, this thing is responsible for creating the patterns. So if it's a new chip, does that mean that the patterns it plays are not the original AUTO-VARI patterns? The sounds themselves are so messed up that if I listened to like a YouTube video of people playing stock AUTO-VARI sounds, I don't even think I'd ever be able to compare them. It sounds so much different than it's supposed to sound. All right, anyway, on to the audio probe. This whole thing is about the audio probe. Remember, make audio probe. Make audio probe, make money. Money. Now over here we have a selection of wire wraps, shrink heating tube, heat shrink tube. I keep on saying heat shrink tape because we used to use a lot of heat shrink tape at the shipyard when we'd cover the boat in this white tarp that was heat shrink tarp. Stuff was unbelievably expensive. And then you'd stick all the tarp together with heat shrink tape, which is also very expensive. Still have a roll of that stuff. It was like $100 a roll or something, but you wouldn't believe how much the rolls of the tarp were. I mean, boats are huge. You had to use a bunch of rolls just to get it. Very expensive stuff. And then you'd walk around it with a heat gun. Imagine a tarp, but the heat shrink tarp. Wild stuff. A lot of money in the boat business. A lot of money. But the only way to actually capitalize is to be shrewd businessmen. You kind of have to be heartless to make money like that. But pretty much, if anybody you know is a billionaire, the way that they got to be a billionaire is by doing terrible things. There isn't a good billionaire. And every single person that owns a shipyard and is rich has done terrible things. I know for a fact the shipyard I worked at was ripping people off left and right. But the waste was systemic. It started from the top. I mean, that's how I walked away with a roll of $100 heat shrink tape. Nobody fucking gave a shit. It didn't matter if at the end of the job there was still 98% of a heat shrink roll. When the next job came around, you charge the next guy for a brand new heat shrink tape roll. Same with everything else. All right. Now let's connect this thing to an alligator clip. Here's one. It's also black. But I don't want to use this one, because having a black alligator thing is good. We use white. But we will use black heat shrink tube. Heat shrink tube. And it appears to be just squeezed in there. Is there any solder? There might be a little bit of solder. No, it was just squeezed in there. But even though the dude that owned that boatyard was a pretty intense individual, I still learned a lot from him. Yeah, what did you think they were going to waste solder on this? Hell no, of course not. So, hold on. Yeah, that doesn't need to be on all of them. It just needs to be on this one. Okay. I'm just saying that because after I attach this alligator clip, then it'll be difficult to change anything around. Oh, let's tin this thing first. I knew that wasn't going to hold. But I did it anyway. You're just sorry you got caught. You ever had a cop say that to you? I don't know if they say that. That was a line they used for a while there. I'm sorry, officer. You're just sorry you got caught. No, I said I'm sorry because it's fucking polite to apologize. What kind of asshole listens to an apologize and says, no, you're not sorry. I'm the real sorry one. I'm the victim. Is that how you fucking treat your family? Daddy, I'm sorry. You're just sorry because you got caught. Daddy, I love you. You're just saying you love me because you got caught. Yeah, there's no love lost between me and the cops. I've had a lot of interesting interactions with the police. I got pulled over once in Ellensburg when I was in college. And there were a bunch of different, districts or precincts or whatever in Ellensburg. There was the state patrol, there was the campus police, there was Ellensburg police, and there was, what the hell county is that? Klickitat County or something? Kittitas? Kittitas? I think it's Kittitas. And I got pulled over by one of them. It was probably Ellensburg police. And he's like, I noticed some irregular lane travel back there. You been drinking, son? No. Smells like you got weed in the car. I don't. You mind stepping out of the car and taking a breathalyzer? No. That's good enough. And then he just left. He just got back in his car and left. Like it was good enough that I was like, no, I don't mind. I mean, I was scared out of my fucking mind, but no, I didn't mind taking a breathalyzer. It's something I'd never done before. It would be a new experience. As terrifying as it was, those crazy armed fuckers, who else in the world is allowed to dress like they're at war, just like in the middle of a town? The cops. And that's it. Some cops are good, but a lot of cops create a hell of a lot more havoc than the havoc they stop. I think part of being a cop isn't being able to turn your fucking brain off and following orders. It's having at least a little bit of wisdom, but they don't test for wisdom. They just test for somebody who's willing to shoot. I'm going to squeeze this down a little bit so it's closer to the thing, and I'm going to put a little bit more solder on it. Adding flux. Sorry, my dad was in law enforcement. My sister is currently kind of in law enforcement. It's a little bit of a sore subject. I mean, we think about like Roman centurions who treated just the people on the street like absolute shit. And we're like, man, I'm so glad that we live in a modern society without centurions fucking with people. But like, the cops are way more heavily armed than a fucking centurion. And 10 times crazier. Like, in order for a centurion to kill a person, they gotta whack at him for a minute. Maybe hit him with a rock. All a cop has to do is pull the trigger. And they never pull the trigger just once. All right, let's give this thing a test. Nobody's watching this. Nobody cares. Let's see how the continuity is looking. Attach the lead we just made. Oh, damn it. I was gonna put a wire wrap there. Son of a bitch. I wonder, no, it's too late. I guess it doesn't matter when this entire thing is conductive, right? So there we go. And then we'll use this end to check. Bring this in a little bit. We use this end to check the other end, which is right here. So this should be the sleeve. Nice. Okay, the next part is to attach this end to a probe. You're just sorry you got caught. You're just sorry you have to go home to an empty house, you fucking cuck. How does it feel making an 18-year-old piss his pants, huh? Big man. Let's tin this guy a little bit. Perfect. Now, this probe, which is going to be red, let's put, oh, do we need one that big? I think the only red ones I have are that size. Maybe this one? Yeah, that one kind of fits. I need to trim it down a little bit though. Yeah, that seems good. I like that. What do you think? We could put a bigger one on as like a overall sleeve, maybe. Like it's already black, so I guess if we put like a bigger black one over it up to that point, up to like right there, that way there's no chance that there will be any exposed copper. Yeah, that'll work. And then I'm gonna tin this, so too much. Put a little bit of flux in there. Now a little bit of solder. Of course. Oh, it's my friend the ice cream bunny. Of course, of course. Of course. Okay, so there's an order of operations. That is on. Solder it, and then solder, squeeze and solder, then, okay, so, or maybe I should squeeze then solder. Okay, now solder. And hopefully what's happening is the solder inside is melting. I wish I had a better attitude. Alex Steele has a terrific attitude. Now I'm going to throw down some safety solder, just for the heck of it, because I don't want this thing coming apart. Clean it up a little bit. What do you think? It's all right. Now we'll lift this up. Move the fan the other direction, and there's still a cross draft, I guess. This thing did not want to start. There it goes. That looks all right. Now I'm thinking I might take this pin and make it red. I think that works pretty well. Oh, we should check it. Wait for the ink to dry. How about while we're waiting for the ink to dry, I wash that flux off my hands and clear my mind a little bit. It was a year ago today that my dad died, so the whole thing with the cops. Fathers and sons, they have strange relationships. Grief, it takes many forms. I don't have anything against the police. Anything stupid the cops do, I do stupider. I'm a fool. So I apologize for the negativity. I'm gonna eat another muffin and bask in the glory of finishing this audio probe. Read it and weep, suckers! Boom! Who wants to hear a little AUTO-VARI? Me, I want to hear the AUTO-VARI. You got it, little kid. Children love the AUTO-VARI every single day. Children love the AUTO-VARI, hip, 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 hooray. Children want to sing with a crappy drum machine. Oh, children of the AUTO-VARI, watch them dance and sing. Cleaning up, cleaning up stuff in the shop. Cleaning up stuff, piles of stuff all over the place. I'm cleaning a bunch of bullshit. I'm cleaning. Everybody loves when you clean a bunch of bullshit. Yeah. Yeah. I think I will save this for, see if it works as solder wick. I'll just put it in here. I think I can turn this off for right now. Oh fuck, dude, turning off the soldering iron just killed the monitors. Great. I'm cleaning stuff. I'm cleaning stuff. Now I'm cleaning stuff. I'm cleaning stuff. I'm cleaning stuff. I'm cleaning stuff. Cleaning stuff. Cleaning stuff. I'm cleaning stuff. I'm cleaning stuff. I'm cleaning stuff. Yeah. Da da. Ah cha cha. I'm cleaning stuff. Cleaning stuff. Cleaning stuff. I'm picking up. I'm picking up. I'm picking up. Picking up. I'm picking up. Picking up. Like a solder sucker. Cleaning up. Up. Nothing rhymes with sucker. Too bad. Nothing rhymes with sucker. So I guess I'm out of luck. All right, let's try to get some AUTO-VARI magic going. This is the voicing board. It plugs into this. No. This plugs into this. Yep. And this plugs into these two. And then this plugs into what the manual would call something so obvious they don't need to explain it. There we go. That's a fully functioning AUTO-VARI, exactly like it was meant to be. About to clean up some more. Well, let's see if it still works. I mean, I didn't do anything to it. I cleaned up some of the contacts, I guess. I didn't try very hard to clean anything. I'm kind of going to wait till I have some IPO to do an actual clean. Amp is on. AUTO-VARI is not plugged in. Let's plug the AUTO-VARI in. Doesn't look like anything is touching. AUTO-VARI's in. The lights are blinking. Let's press an AUTO-VARI button. Sorry, what was that? Did you say something? It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. I like it. Not gonna lie, I like that. I can kind of hear the high-end stuff, and it's amazing. I am cleaning stuff. I'm cleaning. Come on, cleaning stuff. Come on, cleaning. Every day I'm cleaning. My love, I want to clean. Cleaning stuff. Cleaning stuff, yeah, cleaning stuff. Everybody wants and cleaning stuff. Doing stuff and stuff and cleaning stuff. I'm cleaning stuff, okay. Cleaning stuff. Elvis, cleaning stuff. Cleaning stuff. Elvis and stuff, cleaning stuff. Happy fucking Friday, we're cleaning things. We're cleaning shit. We're cleaning shit. Every single day we're cleaning shit. All of our lives we're cleaning shit. Wake up in the morning and clean some shit. Cleaning shit. Doing everything just to cleaning shit. Nobody cares, we're just cleaning shit. Look the other way, we're cleaning shit. Cleaning, lots of shit. Hey, cleaning. Every single day we're cleaning shit. Cleaning shit. Cleaning shit. Cleaning shit. We're cleaning shit. Every single day we're cleaning shit. Every hour of every day is spent doing nothing but just cleaning shit. We're cleaning shit. Cleaning shit. Second of our lives we're cleaning shit. Just cleaning shit for you and me. And cleanliness is godliness and godliness is holiness. guys heard all that, right? It was some of the most profound shit I've ever said. You know, I had a bunch of stuff on this list, but now I'm thinking, let's just test the audio probe to see if it works. And since it's Friday night, it's 9:15 on the West Coast, it's 12:15 on the East Coast, ain't nobody watching this shit. Maybe I'll wake up extra early tomorrow with a cup of coffee, and it's just something about a cup of coffee on YouTube that'll spark the algorithm. I'm sure it will. Even Ben Heck can't get people to watch his fucking repair videos. So what I'll almost certainly do is try to edit this down into something more digestible. But it's not like I've been setting up shots or anything. It's just me in front of a fucking workbench with the shittiest lights on planet Earth. So I don't know. This one might just be for the live stream, just to get my toes back in the water. I mean, I don't really see myself restoring the AUTO-VARI. I can definitely see me getting it working again, but restoring, I don't think so. Putting it back in the same box, quite possibly. Very possible, very possible. So let's test that thing and see if we can't get it to work. There's no finer way to test it than just fucking with the AUTO-VARI. We already know it's on and making noise. So let's start tapping on stuff. And once again, we just won't read the schematics. Who knows what we're tapping on? Oh, this is going to be great. This should make a noise. Or it should do nothing. Doesn't do anything. Attach one to ground. Where's some wires that are close to the output? How about the output wires? One of these is ground, one of them isn't. I'm going to say the one with the capacitor or the resistor is ground. What happens if I flip them? Well, it's DC. I was right. Wait, no, I was totally wrong. I meant the one with the resistor is the, because I was looking at the black one. I should paint the whole thing red. Maybe that'll be the last thing I do. It works. Now let's start probing around, see if we can find something interesting. This is the variation board. Nice. There's RF leakage. The thing is still sending a signal to the amp, even though it's not plugged into the amp. Yeah, both leads completely off. It's still clicking. Ba 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 ba. Okay, let's fuck around with stuff. See what we can get at. Nothing. Nothing. I was kind of thinking that there might not be any audio at all on this board. I thought this was just a logic board. Yeah. Yeah, I think it is just a logic board. I mean, it doesn't say. I am interested in clock, though. Let's see what happens if we tap into clock. Can you hear that? That's the high-end signal. Reset? Interesting. Reset has high end. Well, that's hopeful. That means the high end is in there somewhere. I might have just fried it. Nope. What do you think this chip does? That might be the clock. It sounds like an oscillator. That sounds like an oscillator. Make sure it's still working. Yeah. Chaw. Okay, so as expected, this board doesn't really do anything. It's logic only. That's probably what these chips do, is they randomize they create the VARI of the AUTO-VARI. And maybe even the auto. If that ain't a clock, I don't fucking know what is. That's for me bridging some pins with my hand. Interesting. This is the voicing board. Voicing board. So voicing board is where, oh, actually I saw a YouTube video last night where a guy didn't have any of the boards. The only board he had was the voicing board. And he got the thing to work perfectly. He inputted 25 volts and triggered everything else. Two variation or pattern. I think 2 gen board. So it goes from here to the pattern generation board, maybe? Nope. It's also red. Let's just find some kind of audio output here. That sounds like high frequency to me. You might be able to trace the signal. Sand block. I want to know what the sand block is. This whole time I've just been wondering what the hell the sound block is. It's kind of underwhelming. Surely that isn't all the sand block has to offer. We have to get to the bottom of the sand block. I can't go to sleep tonight unless I figure out the fucking sand block. I'm gonna start probing stuff around the sand block. I'm going to probe the potentiometer directly on the pot. So is that the sand block? It sounds like a snare drum. I got it turned all the way up. So maybe that is the sand block, aka snare drum. Cymbal. Interesting. Something should come out of this. Okay. All right, so that's ground, that's the output, and that's the input. This is how you trace the signal. So then it looks like it goes from here to here. To this resistor, which attenuates it. It's possible this resistor is bad because it feels like there should be more output than that. That resistor might be bad. We could probably just take that resistor out of the circuit. Then when it goes to the other side of the resistor, you should hear something. But that's all we get. This is max volume. Let's do the same thing to the sand block. I think there's something wrong with the sand block source. This is how you do it, man. This is. Now I need a bunch of resistors. I mean, I've got resistors. I just. That's how it should be. Oh, that one's hot. What was that? Felt some heat. Oh, I have a thermal imaging gun. I'll never be able to tell you where it is. I'm pretty sure it's in a box. If it's hanging on a wall, it's hanging on a wall in here. Oh man, I'm going to write a list of stuff I got to do tomorrow. So tomorrow, thermal gun IPO This actually feels like headway. This resistor here, if that is the only, so it goes from the this is the input, the symbol input into this, so the sound is generated and it goes into this potentiometer, and you're supposed to trim this potentiometer to a certain voltage using the oscilloscope. But this is the input and this is the full blast. Well, now there's nothing, of course. Oh, I had it on the wrong one. Okay, it's the center post is the output. And it goes into this resistor, into this. The resistor comes out on this end, and there's nothing. So we can check that resistor to see if it's any good. We'll have to look at the schematic. Look at the schematic, check the value of this resistor, and then test it. we'll be able to tell if it's busted. And if it is, we can replace it. Well, that's got to be white noise. If that isn't white noise, then there's snare, bass, cymbal, mar, whatever mar is, clave, bongo, congo, cowbell, rimshot, sandblock, marimba, maracas. Oh, white noise. Yeah, it says right there on the circuit board. There's no white noise over here, but yeah, that's white noise. So the high frequency works. We're nailing this down, aren't we? This transistor, I think, is creating the white noise, or amplifying it. It goes into this pot, directly from there into this pot, and then into this output. And it goes from this output to this capacitor. Into that resistor. So I'm going to say that this white noise is now properly tuned. What about the sand block? Sand block is still super quiet. Brushes, not working. This is the high frequency adjustment. Now what happens if I adjust the high frequency thing? Okay, I think the high frequency adjustment knob is closer to the output. Now I should really look at the schematic. But if we adjust this, that doesn't, yeah, we're starting to figure it out. So this is closer to the source, and this is close. Cymbals. That's supposed to be a fucking cymbal. Nice. Maybe a hi-hat. Cool, we're finding stuff out. I really wish we could figure out that sand block. I think the tone generation for the sand block and the brush, that circuit must have some problems with it. Oh. Well, we know that's working. Where was that at? I already lost it. Great. Rewind the video. Bop, 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 bop. Bum, 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 bum. All my life I've been looking for something. Something never comes and it leads to nothing. Nothing I can find and I feel the most. Feel it come alive when I hear your ghost. All my life I've been looking for me. When it comes around and it comes my way. Even that I'm gone when I feel it most. Feel it come alive when I feel your ghost. I'm done, I'm done. On to the next one. Okay. Where was the clave though? Clave. There it is. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 so whatever that thing is, the clave or whatever it's supposed to be, that isn't reaching the output. Maybe that's generated on the high side, but the high side all sounds like white noise. Oh yeah. Bum, ba ba bum. Well, my life, I've been looking for something. You're not really risking much doing this. It's fun. Rim shot. Let's try and hear what rim shot is supposed to sound like. I don't think we're going to get anything, but that's rim shot. All of the trim pots appear to be associated with the higher end stuff. So is there a way to trim the low stuff? That's marimba or maraca? There's no world in which that sounds like a maraca, but even the way it's being played is wrong. Let's try playing a simpler beat. Oh, I'm never going to find that combination. I'm never going to find that combination again. That was a cool one. Bump, 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 bump. I guess I accidentally refound it. Interesting. Whatever, I videotaped myself doing it. Marimba. Doesn't sound... That's not what a marimba sounds like, obviously, but it's also not how a marimba is played rhythmically. This is clave. Oh, sorry, here. Clave. Should be. There's some serious problems with these things. We're getting into the pattern weeds here. I'm not expecting to hear a whole lot of rhythms on these. Now it'd be fun to look at these on the oscilloscope. But I'm running out of steam. I don't know. I'm not having very much fun right now. Oh, but let's probe this. Why not? While we're here. Nothing? These all sound like control voltages. I think these control voltages go out to the board, go out to this thing. So the only thing we're going to get here is clicks. That's why this is just a click, I think. That's not supposed to be a musical instrument. Okay, so this thing generates control voltages based on the buttons pressed. So this is just like a 5 volt or whatever, 8 volt, whatever the fuck it's supposed to be, 10 volts, 11 volts. And that control voltage goes to this board, which triggers the sound. So I guess probing this is worthwhile, because what if we knew what each one of these pins is, then okay. Maybe a better thing to do would be to probe this. Okay, that's interesting. Sand block, nothing. Rim shot, nothing. Cowbell, nothing. Conga, nothing. Bongo works. I can kind of hear a clave clicking. Marimba, cymbal, bass, snare, test clock. Test clock is changed by the tempo knob. So if I'm hearing these noises on the IC, I'm going to crank up the tempo. Now I'm not hearing shit. Okay, unplugging this makes it stop. So this might be input? I need something crazier than this. Thank you very much. Now I'll probe it without taking it off. Sand block. Rim shot. Conga. Bongo. Clave, not really. Whew, okay. I think that's some voltage stuff. Wow, that was kind of fun. I feel like while I'm still in the headspace, I should bust open the schematics and actually probe it for real. But it's also Friday at 10 o'clock, and I kind of just want to eat some Eggos and watch a movie and play Mario Kart. I need to figure out what the trigger voltage is. It's probably somewhere between 5 volts and 11 volts. Figure out what that trigger voltage is. Test it with the audio probe, but get it hooked up to the oscilloscope and then test each one of these inputs. Because knowing what I know now, this board can operate completely on its own, separate of everything else. If you feed it voltage, ground, and output it to a sound source, to an amplified source, you can then pump control voltages into each one of these and make it work, force it to work. So if I can pump control voltages into this, then I can troubleshoot each and every one of the sounds. And I will also be able to tell if the problem lies with the voice generation, right? Is it not working because the voices aren't working? Or is it not working because the pattern isn't generating those control voltages, like it's not being generated and sent out? Or if the problem is on the output side, like at the very end. So maybe the easiest thing that I thought was going to be to fix would be this thing. Because the only thing that's really wrong with it now is the lights just don't work. Like it switches between variations, but the lights don't work, which is probably just a loose wire. I think we learned a lot today, you guys. We had a lot of fun, and we learned a few things. We said goodbye to a few friends. They'll stay in our hearts forever, or at least until we wake up tomorrow. But I think that's a good place to leave it. That's even better than the last one. All my life I've been looking at something never feel to nothing terrifies, and I feel a ghost. Feel like I'm alive when I feel a ghost. Done, now to the next one, done, and I'm on to the next one, done, and I'm on to the next.